now listening to Lauer Road Radio.
Hey, welcome one and all to the #1 podcast, winter, spring, and fall. Talking sports for the thrill of it all. Hey, talking life, but we're killing it all. Jason and Dan with the master plan. These are dangerous men with the mic in the hand. Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lauer Radio.
Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight.
Tanagra, when the walls fell. This is Dan Owings coming at you another time for Lauer Road Radio with my co-host, as always, Jason. Sometimes when I start the show, because there's that, when are you going to come in? You know, the music's, you know, Dave is done singing, and so sometimes I think, if I waited a few more seconds, it might give us a few more seconds on the end of the show. That thought actually which is a stupid thing to think about.
But sometimes we run out of time, and you want to bump it up.
The end of the show is the best part of
so
the
you
show.
want to start sooner?
I guess. I don't know. That always goes through my head.
We just skip the theme song altogether.
Starting. No, it's the best part of the show. We can't skip the theme song.
I've often said that and heard that.
A lot of
people shut it off right after the right after the theme.
We don't. Whatever brings you. No judgment here. So, how you doing today?
Good. So it's been very icy and snowy.
It has.
Twice in the last 2 days, Harrison has slipped and fell and hit the asphalt right in front of me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of humorous.
Yeah.
And 3 days so 3 days ago, we were going to church. It was in the evening. It was cold and icy. I'm walking through the parking lot, and he takes off running. It was cold, and he wasn't wearing a jacket.
Yeah.
And stop. What are you doing? You're going to fall. What? Huh? It's icy, dude. Oh, okay. And he starts walking. Then Wednesday, he falls down after baseball practice, like in front of everybody. Very embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then he just right now fell right before he walked in the studio. I'm like, dude, what the heck? He's 15.
You might have a lawsuit on your hands.
It's on your property, so...
It's on the 7-Eleven property.
Yes.
Yeah.
But your name's on the contract for the studio.
That's true. That's true.
I was not going to put my name on that.
But I was assured that nothing could come back to me personally when I signed that. So,
yeah. I think the next studio, maybe we'll sign Jesse.
Agreed.
Yeah, so that way we cannot get in trouble at all.
His signature's probably easy to forge.
It's
I'm guessing
X.
he signs like this. Just put your mark right here.
Make an X.
I'm going to just put my mark on there.
Harrison, do you know how to write in cursive? Yeah, no. The answer is no. Do you know how to write in cursive?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like one of the last few classes that actually learned in elementary school.
Michaela works they kind of learned cursive, but not too much. And she works for a Bible bookstore.
Yeah.
And so she'll go there. She usually works on Saturdays, and she's the only person there. And the lady that owns it will write her notes like, hey, I want you to dust this or make sure to do this. But it's not just cursive. It's that very kind of old school, very
fluttery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she always takes a picture of it and sends it to us, and then we translate it. Because even me, it takes me a few minutes to be like, wow. Because, it's beautiful. Really, but it's just very artistic.
Yeah, over the top.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Kids today they know how to sign their name, and that's about it. At minimum, if you don't know how to write it, I don't know how to do a Z. I could read a Z.
Yeah, if you put a gun to my head right now and said your life depends on writing an uppercase Z in cursive.
Or lowercase Z.
I think I know the lowercase Z, but I don't know the uppercase Z.
Like an uppercase Z, I would just do a regular Z.
With a little
like if I was going to do Zeus, I would do just a regular Z
but that's
with
not it.
With a little loop maybe.
Yeah.
And then
you'd be a dead man. They would just completely
Yeah.
I don't know in what situation. Can you think of a situation in which your life would depend upon writing a uppercase cursive Z?
No.
I don't think it exists.
What about uppercase Q?
I would just do an O. I know how to do an O.
Yeah.
And then I would just do the...
So you can't do an uppercase Z or a Q.
No.
I could do lowercase Q. Because it's like...
Yeah, I know the lowercase Q. I know the... Listen, I know the lowercase.
Could you spell quiz in cursive?
I just can't spell quiz. Yeah. Yeah, I could do quiz. Mm-hmm.
Does double Z at the end?
Well, I know a lowercase Z, and it's not two Z's on the word quiz. Is it?
Is quiz 2 Z's or 1?
I
One?
believe it's 1.
Why are we
maybe I'm
thinking so
thinking
hard about this? It's 1Z.
Quiznos? Is that 2 Z's?
Yeah.
Quiznos?
Yeah, I think that's probably 2 Z's.
That's where I know
Yeah,
quiz from.
Yeah.
Well, quizzes, plural, is ZZES.
That's what I'm thinking.
So-
Yeah, definitely.
I'm thinking quizzes, plural.
The word buzz has 2 Z's. I don't know if that helps.
No.
Okay.
I know the difference between a B and a D. One goes one way and one goes the other way.
Sure.
But in cursive, it's not. A B is like an L with like a little loop, right?
Yeah, that.
But it's
that
not
is
rounded.
tricky. Yeah, that
It is
tricky.
tricky. It's very tricky.
I actually encountered that this week. I did.
Really?
Yep. I'm doing some data entry for my parents' business.
Yeah.
And on the cards that I'm entering into the computer, my mom writes kind of cursive.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of a mix. I'm like, what's this street name? What are these letters you put here? And she's like, Jess, that's a B. I was like, oh, that's right. That's how you do that in cursive.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot of words in English language with a double Z. Lots.
Yeah. My wife does not like when I play Scrabble because I make up words.
Yeah.
Phonetically, they look correct. I couldn't tell you the definition or how to use it in a sentence because it's not a real word.
Well, then
But-
she can look it up.
But see, that's it's always an interesting time when I play Scrabble. I'm not a big reader. I mean, I
We
do
gathered.
read. I read.
You're not illiterate.
I'm not
technically.
illiterate. I read like physical books. I read like 3 a year. So I mean, it's more than nothing.
You're also good at math.
3.
It's more than nothing.
It's less than 4. More than 2.
Are they like picture books?
No, I read real books. You know, sometimes.
I like a book with pictures in it.
A pop-up? A pop-up?
Are we talking about pop?
Are you talking pop-up? Like a gingerbread house unfolding?
Those books only work, like, you can't just leave that in your toddler's room. They will immediately destroy it.
Yeah.
But those are fun books to read.
I like a good pop-up book.
I love a good pop-up book.
I would like to see a Star Wars pop-up book where you open
I'm
it
sure
and
it
it's
exists.
like the Death Star.
I'm 100% sure that's a thing.
Yeah. That would be pretty fun. Have you been watching Boba Fett?
Well, it's not the Netflix suggestion of the week time. I mean, we could be unprecedented and do the Netflix
I don't know.
suggestion.
I don't know.
Did
you hit it?
Sorry, no, I did not.
Okay.
I was about to.
I'm just saying
Man.
it's
I was
just
taking
earliest we've
cues,
ever-
okay? I don't want to
time
get
for
yelled
that.
at again.
so.
Yeah. Are you ready? I mean, I've got stuff. This, I think, already compared to last week,
Compared to last week?
is our best show
Okay,
ever.
I got stuff. I have recently realized that Ohio is a gray sky state.
Yes.
I grew up here.
Yeah.
Not once did I ever think about the fact
Yeah.
that Ohio had gray skies. And Michelle Owings, our
Yeah. I don't know what she
second
is.
cousin's wife, I don't know how exactly to explain the relation, but anyway, she
We
said
share a
something-
last name.
Yes, we do share a last name. That much I know. She said that Ohio is ranked like top 4 in gray skies.
Yeah.
Of states in the country.
This area is second behind Seattle.
So, like, here's the cities
Yeah.
with gray skies: Buffalo, New York, 311;
Yes.
Seattle, 308;
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, 306;
Yeah.
Rochester, New York, 304; and then Cleveland, 299; Portland, 296; Columbus, 293.
Yeah.
So we're in between Cleveland and Columbus. We're right there. Cincinnati's also on the list. Detroit's on the list. So we're surrounded by a lot
Yeah.
of gray skies. We have a lot of gray skies, and I never thought about it until recently, until she mentioned it, and I thought, that's weird. And then I mentioned it to Erica, and she was like, oh, yeah, it's always gray in
Yeah.
the sky here. And then today I'm driving around, I'm like looking, I'm like, yeah, it's a gray sky.
It's always gray.
It never, ever occurred to me.
I like gray skies.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
That's what I said. I like the gray sky too. She goes, I don't mind a gray sky every once in a while. She just wants a break in the action.
Montana's
super sunny.
Yeah.
Basically 300 days out of the year we have gray skies.
There's only 365 days.
Last I checked,
here.
except for on the leap year.
That's 366.
That's a 366er right there. But
so typically there's only
65 sunny days a year. And let's face it, most of those are in between what, like
July and
May
August.
and August, May, June, July, August.
60 days, July and August.
Those are those are most of your sunny days. And in those days, you just wish it was gray.
Yes.
Because you walk outside and you just melt from the sun.
Why don't I have the gray skies?
I want the gray skies back. So,
No, I love gray skies.
I like a gray sky.
I think my favorite day of any day is like the third Saturday of October, and you wake up and it's a drizzle, and it's gray skies, and the leaves have already changed, and you've got nothing to do, and you've got
that's the
chili
best
in the
part
crock
of
pot.
Chili in the crock pot?
That combination of things is the best. That's my personal heaven, and with no kids around.
Of course.
I mean, that's a given. Right? Okay. Yeah.
The
I mean,
other
I've got
day-
nothing to do.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the couch. There's some type of marathon on the TV,
Yeah.
and I'm just eating chili.
Yeah.
And watching this marathon. Not like a running marathon.
I'd say like the Boston Marathon.
No. Like a TV series marathon that I would not normally watch. And it's on, and it's special, and it's not on Netflix, so I can't normally watch it. It's on
see.
like the physical TV. I have to watch
It's a very
commercials.
specific situation.
I have to watch commercials with
Okay.
this.
So you can get up. To
so I can get
chili.
up and go to the bathroom and stuff. Yeah, because I'm eating chili.
You're eating chili. You're going to need to go to the bathroom and get more chili.
Yes. That's my perfect day. If I could live that day like Groundhog Day over and over and over, I would never
You don't
change
think you'd
anything.
ever get tired of it?
No. It'd be fantastic.
It's interesting.
But includes gray skies.
Yeah.
I don't want sunny skies.
Yeah,
Now,
because
listen.
then there's pressure to be outside doing stuff.
Yeah, I mean for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's sunny in Ohio, one of the 60 days that it's sunny, and you decide to stay indoors all day, you feel like a loser.
You know, the thing is, it never bothered me. And now I'm like every day going outside like, And it's like starting, like today there was like a 5-minute window when the sun was out.
Yeah.
And then Erica mentioned it. She's like, oh, there's the sun. And I was like, yeah. And now I'm kind of like, I'm like waiting for a sunny day now. It's like kind of got in my head in a way that's like, I was never, ignorance is bliss, right?
Yes, yeah.
Before I
Well,
knew
we
this
grew up with
information.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, this is just the way that life is. This is the. I was talking to a guy that said that he was working in Colorado, and someone got hired on who was from Ireland, and she couldn't stand the sun.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just too much. She had to wear sunglasses all the time. She's like, it's too sunny here. So
Yeah. England, Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
Very cloudy, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
so I would like
yeah.
London fog
Are we? I mean,
on the London Bridge. Are you talking London fog on the
on the
Bridge?
Thames.
Do you know London fog is a drink that consists of Earl Grey tea and heavy cream?
Really?
Yeah.
That's. I would try that.
I want to try it
would
really
try
bad.
that.
It was on. We were
I
watching.
typically use heavy cream in my coffee, depending on what kind of coffee.
No, this is tea.
Well, I understand that, Jason.
It's not
Which
coffee.
is different. Mhm.
Yeah. So it was on one of the holiday baking things. One of the ladies was
Oh, right.
drinking London fog.
I want to get Earl Grey tea. I also was reading a book. Who's this book? I think it was. I don't remember. But one of the people in the book was Earl Grey. Like he was like a commander or a general or something.
Yeah.
In the British Army, and I was like, oh, I thought he was just the tea guy. I thought like Earl was like the kind of plant that it was came from, and it was like kind of a grayish color.
Yeah.
It's Earl Grey tea. It's like there's a guy named Earl Grey.
I didn't know.
And he liked that tea, and they named it after him.
They named it after him. I did not know that.
I just know it because of Picard.
Yeah.
Which-
Earl Grey tea.
Season 2 of Picard's coming out, by the way.
I've never saw season 1.
And it's overrated. It wasn't great. But I heard season 2 revolves around Q. So I'm excited
Come on.
about that.
Q? Are you talking Q?
I can't do an uppercase Q. Okay, what do you got, Jason?
So, do you remember
The 5th of November?
Yeah. V for Vendetta. That's a great movie, by the way.
Incredible movie,
all right.
especially
I love that
right
movie.
now.
Yeah, well, it feels a lot like 1984.
Yeah.
It's definitely George Orwell.
Orwellian. even.
Orwellian. That's what I was just trying to come up with that word. Do you remember being kids and saying the word sike.
Sike. Yeah.
Listen, there is
At some point, sike got replaced with not briefly.
That's
It did. It
Borat
went from
thing.
psych to not. And then I don't know where it evolved from there, but you don't see that anymore. Right?
I don't know.
There's a
It's been a long time since
I want to
someone said
revive
Sike.
I want to revive Psych.
Maddox does it to me all the time.
He says Psych?
Yes,
Okay, now
I
listen.
love it.
Does he watch or do you guys watch what's the Titans?
Paw Patrol.
Teen Titans Go.
He did. We actually made it to where he couldn't watch it because they said that they were calling each other idiots, but he used to when he was younger.
Okay,
yeah.
so there's an episode where they do the Psych the whole time. It's like a whole Psych episode.
So he
That's
must have
probably
gotten
what
that's
it's
where
from.
he got it. Yeah.
It's fantastic. I had not thought about Psych in probably 30 years.
How do you spell Sike? S-I-K-E?
Yeah, Sike. And multiple times, like they'll reach their hand out to shake someone's hand. Psych! They pull it back. I love this so much. I want this to become a thing in America once again. Because when we were kids, it was everywhere. Psych was part of a daily thing that you would do
Yeah.
to someone.
That's
You know, hey, do you want a drink? Psych! Psych.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I was just like, I'm going to let him just sit in this and
Yeah.
just see if there's anything more.
I
But
want to
there's
bring
not.
Psych back.
You want to bring Sike back.
What other things can we bring back?
Okay.
Well, this is a conversation. I expected a
here's
response,
what you do
not
with
just
your things. You just create things that then
I'm a creator.
I have to. It's like you put one Lego on the table and you're like, build a house.
like the time I made potatoes.
Yes. So we were home by ourselves, and I was probably saying how hungry I was.
Wait, how old are we?
I mean, I would say you are probably
12? Yeah, and you're 10.
So I'm 10, and I was saying I'm hungry, I'm hungry, and you were just like, well, then get something to eat. And I was like, there's nothing to eat, and you're like, yes, there is, and I was like, then you make me something, and you said fine, and so you went into the kitchen, and you just cut potatoes. You just got potatoes.
them.
You didn't wash them or anything. You just cut them, just chunks of potatoes.
Yeah.
Put them in a pan. I don't think you put anything.
I think I put some butter on there.
No, I don't think you did. I just think you put these potatoes in a pan for like 10 minutes on high and then said, there, food, take it. And I was like, and it was awful, of course.
I remember I tried to eat it too. It was not good.
It was really bad.
Yeah. Like in hindsight, yeah, I would, like now I would prepare that slightly different. We just made potatoes. Shelby made potatoes the other day.
Potatoes are great.
I love potatoes.
I like a red potato.
Are you talking
All right, Mount Rushmore of potatoes.
red,
Idaho,
Idaho,
baking,
Mr. Potato Head.
sweet. Mr. Potato Head. So sweet potato, Idaho potato,
Mr. Potato,
Mr. Potato Head,
and red potato.
and red potato?
Hot potato.
Hot potato. That's another one.
Jeez, hot potato.
Yeah.
Hot potato and Mr. Potato Head are. Listen, when we were kids, like I was probably 12 and you were probably 10. It's probably a little bit younger.
A
Than
lot
that.
happened that year.
Well, a couple. I think I was 10 and you were like 8.
Okay.
And we go to a family Christmas event where all the cousins are there, aunts, uncles, grandparents, everybody's there. 50, 60 people, maybe more, maybe, full size.
Yeah.
And everybody opens up gifts. The cousins open up gifts. Our cousin, Ben, opened up like this awesome race car, remote control car.
Yeah.
And it was like super awesome.
Yeah.
Now I'm 10 and you're like 8.
And we're thinking, this is cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
We open a gift.
It's
Do you-
Mr. Potato
It was
Head.
a Mr. Potato Head.
You know what? I think we had more fun with that Mr. Potato Head, though. Than
Did we? I remember being very upset. I was very upset.
I don't
because
really-
why did he get a remote control car? Now in hindsight, I know,
But
like,
at the
I've
time-
pieced it together. At the-
you did the work.
I did the work. I did some calculations.
And you figured it out.
I had some very firm discussions with our mother about it.
Yeah.
And it turns out We got boofed.
And you were upset about it.
I was really, really upset about it. Like it. Now, I've been, as a parent, having cycled through this whole process, having been a child, going through hurt and pain of receiving a Mr. Potato Head when your cousin gets an awesome remote control car, right? This damaged me. I've been very careful not to do that to my kids.
Yeah.
So instead of getting them something they don't want, I don't get them anything. You can't disappoint them if you don't give them something they don't want.
So, hot potato, Mr. Potato Head. Then we're done.
Idaho potato, I think.
Idaho?
Yeah.
That's it for sure.
I think so. We got one more.
Red potato, sweet potato.
I think sweet potato.
Yeah, sweet potatoes.
It was the opposite of the Idaho potato.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got sweet potato, Idaho potato, Mr. Potato Head.
So there's no red potato.
I don't think.
Okay.
I think. Did I send you that text about hobbits have like 17 different potatoes?
Uh-huh.
I thought that was interesting. I've been listening to a lot of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, really?
The new series is coming out on.
I know. I'm not excited about it.
Why?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. First of all,
I don't know anything about it.
First of all, they murdered the Hobbit, and I don't trust them anymore. Secondly, it seems very obvious to me that they're trying to play to the Game of Thrones crowd.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of implication that there's going to be some things like sexually explicit in this.
Like gay hobbits.
Well, maybe. You know,
we can only hope.
One could dream that, like, the casting calls, like people like revealed them, or whatever. It talked about how there'd be required nudity and things like that. And I'm
like, why do you got to do that?
This is not Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings doesn't have that. It's like Marvel doesn't have that stuff. You shouldn't have that in there. So
nobody wants to see a naked hobbit.
No, there's no nudity in Middle Earth. Nobody is ever naked.
No, they shower with clothes on.
Yes, that's the world. So I'm a little upset about that. I think that they're trying to play to this Game of Thrones crowd rather than play to their target audience, which is me. So it's called the Rings of Power. It's supposed to, I think, tell the stories about the rings that were made.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm pessimistic, but I guess I could say like somewhat hopeful that maybe they might get it right, but I don't have my hopes up at all.
We have a problem.
Yeah.
There are 4 of us in the room, and we are all in a group chat. Typically, about once a week, I'll send something out that says, we're recording tomorrow, 4:30.
Yeah.
Or we're recording 2 or 3 days from now, 6 o'clock, whatever.
Yeah.
The problem that we have is 3 of us have identical systems called the iPhone.
Yeah.
In which you get the blue bubble. And you can do the tap backs. And you can share things that are exclusive to iPhone users. The producer of the show, Mr. Jesse, has an Android. And it screws up the group chat.
Yeah.
This angers me
a
lot. I'm really upset. I'm in a couple different group chats. I'm in a fantasy football group chat. Like, one guy doesn't have an iPhone. He has an Android. And this screws the whole thing up. And then when you go to like it, it pops up as a whole new text.
Yeah, it's awful.
It bugs me so bad. I don't like it.
Sorry, I go for better technology.
No, stop. Stop. Listen, I went down the Android road.
You did. You were very anti-Apple.
Oh, for a long time, I was anti-Apple. I refused. I was, first of all, I was Microsoft everything. We've talked about this. The Zune, I had a Zune.
Yeah, you were a Zune
I refused
guy.
the iPod.
You were a big Zune guy.
Big Zune guy. I loved all things Microsoft, the Xbox, the Windows, everything. I even had a Windows phone. I had a Windows phone. It was a Lumina 670 or something like that. I generally liked it. There was a point where I said, I'm going to make the move because I realized the iPhone was better. The Apple, everything.
Better.
And it's much better. And I used to think it was a snobby thing to say. Or
it's just better.
It's just better.
It just is.
100%. Everything about it.
Yeah.
There's one thing that's not better.
The camera.
No.
Also the screen.
No. Stop.
Yeah.
the easeability of adding storage. So like on most of the other phones, there's room for an SD card of some variety. You don't have that on the iPhone.
Yeah.
I wish I could throw like a terabyte hard drive.
Well, there's a reason it's so much
better.
better than the others, because all of those little other elements that you add to it to make
over the top,
make things worse, So you just want to keep it as simple as possible because you want it to work as well as possible.
See, that's why you like it, because you're getting older and technology's just outpacing you.
No, that's
Apple,
not true.
iPhones are way simpler. I will give that. They're simpler.
They're not simpler.
Oh yeah, they are. You can
How are they
you can
simpler?
customize the entire operating system of any Android phone.
It just
to
means
make it
it's
exactly
janky.
what you want.
It's janky.
so janky.
Janky's the best word for
I
it.
used to be Android. I went to Apple for a couple years. It was all right. I went back to Android. Way better.
Janky.
It is. I won't have it.
Okay, listen. Do you have something? Because we
Well-
need to have the McDonald's discussion.
Okay. Let's have the McDonald's discussion. So Jesse and I go to one of those churches that every week they have this big like awkward push during the offering. You know what I'm talking about?
For money.
Yeah, you have the guy stand up and he's like, we need to pay the money and you got to give your money. And,
Not grudgingly or out of necessity.
Yeah, and he's
God
like-
loves a cheerful giver.
and makes everybody stand up.
Yeah.
and
I
hold
hold-
yeah,
in
this
my
is-
hand I
yeah,
hold-
And
Yeah.
Jesse,
This will da, 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 da.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, we go to one of those churches.
And then they something goes down the aisle and everybody looks at everybody holding it.
shake.
There's Do your churches have a big fancy gold plates?
No, we don't have gold plates. We have buckets.
Buckets? Like plastic buckets?
They're like little metal buckets.
Oh, so you can hear the ching. Yeah.
So we know who the cheapskates are.
The chings are the cheapskates. Because the check writers, they're dropping the big...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, and Jesse...
Now, is it one of the churches where it's give if you need and take if you need?
I unfortunately I think that has happened before.
Our grandpa
yeah.
visited a church in Cleveland once, and he said they announced it.
Yeah.
If you need, you can take. If you have extra, give.
Boy, I wouldn't. I don't know.
I think you want to sit in the middle.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the
there's
front...
probably a lot of strategic sitting in that church.
Yes.
Like,
Here's the thing. If you're sitting in front, there's nothing to take.
or if you're giving and you want the money to go to the church, you're going to sit in the very back. I don't know the last person.
Well, yeah.
put
Like
this
if
in.
you're giving, you have to sit in the
Probably
back.
a lot of volunteer ushers in that church, too. Anyway, Jesse's doing his thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know the exact instruction that he's been given, but I assume he's supposed to read some sort of Bible verse or something.
Yeah.
But instead, he gets up and tells the story about going into the McDonald's drive-thru. And so in the McDonald's
This is kind of like the
drive-thru-
message.
Yeah, I
Like
don't, honestly...
It's a paraphrase.
I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you.
Okay.
And I'm quite sure he couldn't tell you either. But
Yeah.
either way,
So what you're saying is he didn't prepare.
no.
He just went up there and
No,
started talking.
Not at all.
Okay.
No. So anyway, so he the McDonald's drive-thru. He's telling the story about how now at most drive-thrus, specifically McDonald's, there's 2 lines
Yes.
in which you can give an order to.
And that's what, in the last 10 years? That's a thing?
It's a fairly new development.
Prior to that, it was one line.
It was 1 line.
Yeah.
And the 2-line development, I do think has made things move faster.
Yes.
I think at first I was very skeptical. I
At first, I'm like, this is
was
stupid.
like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, they're going to get the food wrong every time.
Yeah, but somehow I
They
don't know
figure it
how.
out.
They
Yeah.
figure it out, or they don't, and then you just got to go figure it out for them.
Yeah.
But
well, what happens is at the one of the windows when people are ordering, they don't know what they're doing. It's like this is their first time at McDonald's, and they're looking at the menu scanning.
why is Mick in front of everything? What's a Mick? Is a McChicken like a regular chicken?
I want the McIce cream,
Anyway, so
the McRib. Listen,
I've never had a McRib.
what?
I've never had a McRib.
You got to have the McRib.
They're a big fat disappointment.
No, I like the McRib, and they only come out certain times of the year.
That's smart. So you got the 2 lines.
Yeah,
So obviously,
at the McDrive-thru.
sometimes you're going to have somebody and the one line is taking longer than the other.
Because they've never seen the menu before.
Right. And so you don't want to be stuck behind that person.
No, or if you're, like, I've got a van load of 18 people.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right?
Right.
It's going to take a little bit longer.
There's some strategy involved. Sometimes I'll look and I'll be like, which lane do I want to go in? A lot of people in that car.
Yeah.
There's just one old person. He's just going to get a coffee. That's all. I'm going to go behind this person. He looks decisive.
And he's got his 49 cents ready.
Yeah, it's like in his hand, So Jesse, in Jesse's story, he says that when he pulls up to this McDonald's, well, Jesse, you tell the story.
All right, so we pull up. I was already a little bit frustrated. Had a bad day. Woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Get to McDonald's, and I see the line.
Is that a just a phrase that you're using, or you literally woke up on the wrong side of the bed?
It's just a phrase.
Okay.
I woke up cranky.
Okay.
Mr. Cranky.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Because listen, if I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, literally, it would be a bad day.
Yeah.
Because I always sleep on this side. My wife always sleeps on this side. If I woke up and it was flipped, there's a problem.
Yeah, just go back to bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, I'm cranky anyway.
Yes.
So, pull up, and what I see, so I believe you get to the line, and you pick your side, and you stick with
stop,
it.
Wait. You believe...
The correct way to do a McDonald's drive-thru line is to pick your side and just commit to it. Go to it. Instead of waiting in the middle, not picking a side, and then seeing which side's going faster. I don't think you're supposed to do that. Well, there was 4 cars doing that. They're just waiting to see which side was going faster. When really how it works now, especially with COVID and half these McDonald's are closed on the inside, they alternate pretty well at the lines.
Yeah.
Well, none of these people were picking a side, so there was enough room on the left side for me to go right past all 4 of them, and I picked my side. So the guy behind me, I can see him in my rear view. He's throwing up his hands. He's, what?
Yeah.
Why'd you go in front of me? Well, it's because you didn't pick a side. So I think the proper way to go through a McDonald's drive-thru with 2 lanes is to pick your side and stick with it instead of waiting.
No, listen. There is a single lane that divides into 2 lanes. No, Jesse, there is not 2 lanes all the way through.
There are 2 lanes.
When you pull into the McDonald's parking lot, there is not 2 lanes.
Oh, yeah.
No, Jesse. There is 1 lane that divides to 2. And when you get to that point where it forks, there's a fork in the road, and it's left and right. There's not 2 identical lanes all the way back to the road.
That blocked the whole parking
That's
lot.
absurd. It's the same thing. Listen, I bank at Fifth Third. I also bank at Huntington. They both have drive-through systems in which the little change thing, goes back and forth and whatever. Listen, when I go to the bank, I pull up and I stop right in the middle.
No,
and I
hate
wait.
you.
And when that one goes down, I go to that lane. Because you know
I
what?
pick it.
That's the next one to go.
I commit right off the bat. If there are 2 lanes, I just pick one, and I go and I commit. And I deal with the consequences.
Listen, at McDonald's, you cut people off. That's a problem.
Well, he obviously did.
I did. I cut 4 people off that
That's
wouldn't
a
make up
problem.
their minds. But you know what's funny?
Listen.
You know how they got in line? They ended up getting in line the way they should have in the first place. The guy that was at first,
Except the one that you cut.
Except the one that I cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for the first one, because he ended up behind me. He should have ended up at the next one. All the other ones fell in line perfectly as they should. They could have just chose that in the beginning, but instead, I got in line. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I did not feel bad for doing that because I believe that I am right.
No, you're not.
However, he had a cross on his rear view mirror, and I called him an idiot to Savannah, and then I felt bad for calling him an idiot.
Did you roll down your window and yell idiot?
No. No, I said he did a hand thing, and then I said
he's number 1.
I didn't know. No. I said, hey, he can love the Lord and still be an idiot. And then I felt bad for saying that.
Listen.
So I paid for his meal. But here's where it got interesting.
Yeah.
He wasn't directly behind me once we got up to pay. There was another car behind me and then him.
So they got the credit.
No. I made the lady, I said, hey, I want to pay for someone behind me, but not directly behind me. 2 cars back. I want to pay for it. That was terrible. It took so long for her to figure out who I was paying
You're
for.
holding up the line.
And then I ended up holding
up. Like, I'd rather pay for you and be done sooner.
Listen, I'll pay for everybody in the line. I'm just trying to get through.
It took like 5 minutes, and I'm like, this is going to be a weird request. I'd like to pay for someone 2 cars behind me. And it's just a teenage girl. She's like, I don't know how to do this. And I'm like, it's the Jeep. Because they have cameras. They can see who's...
Yeah.
She goes, oh, well, what do you order? I'm like, I don't know. And I said, I don't even know how much it is. And she's like, okay, like, do you know him? And I'm like, no, I don't know him.
I just cut him off, and I feel bad about it.
I said, no, I saw he had kids in the car, and I just wanted to bless him. And she's like, oh, you're so sweet. And I'm like, if only you knew. But then finally, she ended up getting it.
Did you have cash?
Yes.
You could have just said, here's $10. I'll pay for that car.
I should have, but I didn't. It ended up being like $12. But I paid for him, went about my day. But I still stick to my stance. You pick your side, and you go with it.
What I found out is this kind of discussion brings out a lot of passion in people.
Yes.
I saw the faces of the people in church after he got done talking.
Yeah.
And it was...
a lot of upset people.
Very upset people.
So here's another
I'm pretty
problem.
sure our church is in the midst of a split right
My
now.
wife among them. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's completely on your side on this one.
100%.
She leans over to me while Jesse's talking, and she's like, he's wrong.
Everything he's saying right now is a lie. How could I believe
Blasphemy.
If he's lying here and now he tells the truth here? No, everything.
Everything is now in question.
Everything is in question. In fact, I question everything about myself for being here.
How upset would you be if someone zipped past you like that in the McDonald's line?
Listen, we would have some words.
But what if they paid for you?
No,
you're like, I don't even care.
No, I'm getting out of my car and I'm approaching your window. And I'm going to step between you and the drive-thru, and I'm going to order. I will leave the car parked, and I will walk through ahead of you because you're not getting in front of me. I'll come back for the car.
Pick your side and go with it.
You have one lane that forks into two. It's not two lanes all the way down.
Well, no, but
it would
the
be
guy that
different.
I cut, though,
No,
he was
stop.
at the fork.
Listen.
He should have just chose. He should have just chose. He didn't.
He did choose.
He chose to sit in the middle. He's a fence sitter. Pick a side and go with it. We've been here for a while.
Yeah, I'm getting text from my wife. She's hungry. She wants.
When you go to the drive-thru, pick your freaking side.
Yes, when you get to the fork. If someone's at the fork ahead of you, you don't cut them off.
But there was a space.
There's
They're
another
like-
problem. Stop. You're wrong.
All right,
and
you
you'll
wanna know
never be
something
right.
really
There's
funny?
something else wrong with
Okay,
this.
continue.
On the back of your car is a Lauer Road Radio sticker.
Yeah, it is.
True.
Yeah, I don't even have my church sticker. I don't have the company I work for sticker, which
You have
they
a Lauer
provided.
Road Radio sticker, and you just cut people off.
I have a Lauer Road Radio sticker and a Jesus fish.
He's making us look bad.
Well,
listen, if we send you a Lauer Road Radio sticker, and there are some floating out there, don't do stupid things at the drive-thru. Don't be cutting people off, telling them they're number one.
my big thing at the drive-thru is when people don't close the gap in between them and the car in front of them.
Okay, does it also bother you? Because our dad did this, and I find myself doing the same thing. In Marion County, there are a lot of railroad tracks.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If, like when we're dropping our kids off at school, there's a railroad track on there, and it's a country road, and there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Do you let off the gas, let off the brake, and just coast like at 5 miles an hour?
Every single time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're not in a hurry.
What's the point?
You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
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 And then same thing, if you happen to be stopped and there happens to be 2 or 3 cars in front of you, and they're edging up,
What are you doing?
what are you doing? You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You're not beating.
Couldn't agree more.
You're stopped. You're not moving.
What's a lot of fun is on the if you're there and there's like an incline and you have a manual transmission,
yeah.
just to do the back and forth with the manual and just to
Ride the clutch back and forth. Yeah.
I like that a lot. So as we speak here, Joe Jr. texts me something about something else, and then he says, "P.S. You guys are capital letters ruthless with Jesse. He is a glutton for punishment. We weekly ask ourselves why he remains on the podcast and simultaneously enjoy it."
Oh, and is that Shoeless Joe?
No,
this is
another Joe.
Yeah.
This is another Joe.
Yeah, you'll probably meet Joe next weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's hilarious. In that moment, like as I'm getting that text, you're
You are an idiot.
yeah, you're literally pointing at him, calling an idiot. And I was like, the timing is amazing. So we might have Joe on the show.
Yes. Yeah.
Here coming up.
We'll
pretty
squeeze
soon.
him in.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Let's do the Netflix because we're running out
Okay.
of time.
Netflix, watch these shows with us. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus. Netflix, watch these shows with us. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus. Or maybe Amazon
Jason, what is your
Prime or
Netflix
something like
suggestion
that,
of
like
the week?
YouTube. We don't want to put a box
1883.
around what
Okay.
you watch, so
I
you never know.
don't think I gave this as a suggestion, but I did watch and suggest Yellowstone.
Yes, you have suggested Yellowstone.
So Yellowstone is on Peacock, and I think there are 3 or 4 seasons. I binged it in a week.
Although it's strange because it has the Paramount logo when it comes up. So somehow it's a Paramount production, but it's owned by NBC. I don't exactly know.
I don't exactly know either, but it was a huge hit. It's one of the most non-woke shows out there, and I loved it.
And Blue Bloods, very non-woke as well.
So when I saw that 1883 was like a prequel,
A prequel, like 150 years before.
well, 1883, so it'd
Yeah.
be 120 years.
You're right.
No, 140.
Yeah, it's 100. Yeah, it's 140 years.
Well, 138.
Okay, I'm sorry. 150
Anyways,
was ridiculous.
listen.
You're right.
Listen, I was all in.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
Plus, when you saw it had Sam Elliott, you're like,
Are we talking Sam Elliott?
Sam Elliott is
Listen,
Mount Rushmore of Western actors and Westerns.
Sam Elliott, John Wayne,
Obviously.
Kevin Costner,
Whoa. I don't know. There's a lot.
Dances with Wolves, and
I mean, Clint Eastwood definitely.
Clint Eastwood. Yeah.
So Clint Eastwood and John Wayne, that's your big two.
Yeah.
I would say. But then, I mean, I like a Jimmy Stewart Western personally. I'm a big fan.
See, Kevin Costner also has the modern day with the Yellowstone.
Yeah.
But he's also got some throwback
Can't
stuff.
put Kevin Costner. I like Sam Elliott on this list.
Yeah.
Because he's in a lot of Westerns. But
yeah.
But it's hard for me to put Kevin Costner on that list. When I think Western, you know?
Yeah. Like Steve McQueen.
Feels like we're missing one.
He did some Westerns.
Who was in like that movie the original
Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven?
Steve McQueen.
Was that Steve McQueen?
He was in it.
Yeah.
Steve McQueen's pretty great.
It feels like we're definitely missing somebody, but I
agree.
know that
Clint Eastwood, John Wayne.
Clint Eastwood, and Sam Elliott belong on the list.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't think of one. I'd have to think about it a lot longer than this.
Yeah.
Is Sam Elliott the guy that was on The Ranch with Ashton Kutcher? He's a dude that like hasn't aged in 50
Jesse,
years.
you are literally the only person that's ever watched that show.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Nobody.
I'm slightly
I'm pretty sure
familiar.
Sam Elliott's in it now.
If I saw Ashton Kutcher, like in real life, I don't even think I would
has a
associate.
great part
Voice?
in Parks and Rec. Well, he has a great voice.
He has the very low
Yeah.
country voice. I think I know who we're talking about.
My wife is tracking me on the Find Me app.
Oh, yeah.
She always does this thing. She'll be notified when I leave this address.
I don't like that
I
at
don't
all.
like that either. I got to
Well,
shut that
that's
off.
you're gonna get a phone call that says we need to talk soon.
Yeah. 1883. The basic premise of this series is Sam Elliott along with this black guy. I don't know his name.
Wow.
They take a group of immigrants from Texas, and they're going to take them to Oregon, and they're going to travel basically the Oregon Trail at this point,
Yeah.
which is unpaved, right? It's filled with dangers, tribulations, trials, test errors, challenges, Indians, robbers, all of it. So I think there are 4 or 5 episodes in. Half the people have already died.
Yeah, it's heavy.
It's really, really heavy, and I love it. It's really, really great.
So
There's supposed to be, I saw something, there's supposed to be 14 different spinoffs of Yellowstone, like for real.
that's cool. That's a great idea.
Well, because it turned into a huge hit because people are sick of the woke. And like, okay, listen, we're going to have real, like this is real stuff.
I want to go back to sleep. I don't like woke. Henry Fonda is who we missed. So John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, Henry Fonda, Sam Elliott.
I'm okay with that.
I feel good about that.
What's your Netflix?
All right, my Netflix suggestion of the week is the Book of Boba Fett. Have you been watching it?
I have. I've not seen this week.
Neither have I.
Okay.
So my son watched it. He said it was very good. He said
Have
it was
you
his
watched it,
favorite
Harrison,
one
yet?
so far.
Have you watched this week? Yeah. Okay. Don't say anything.
Yeah, Levi said it was his favorite one yet. I thoroughly enjoy the Book of
Apparently,
Boba Fett.
something very good happens at the end.
Really?
Of this episode. Is that true?
Like it's like a
People
big,
are excited.
There's like a big
Something's
I don't know,
going on.
Somebody shows up.
And then
There's
Eric Fraser said something like, "What are the Power Rangers doing in Boba Fett?"
I don't want to know anymore. I'm going to watch it tonight when I get home.
Yeah, I'll
so
probably watch it
I don't
tonight.
need to
Is
know.
there a Power Ranger thing?
My memory sucks.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
jeez.
Yeah. Who brought that guy in?
So overall, I've loved the Book of Boba Fett.
I think it's missing an iconic soundtrack.
Yes.
Mandalorian
I think
was
it's-
so powerful.
The Mandalorian soundtrack is amazing. The Boba Fett soundtrack is effective.
Yes.
I find it to be effective. Like it does a good job,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have that like one melody line. There's like a there's like something like that
Like
happening
Bollywood.
every once in a while. Yeah. I don't know. So yes, I agree that the soundtrack I'm gonna let it grow on me, but it's not like just completely like kicking me in the teeth.
Listen,
like,
Mandalorian.
The first time I heard Mandalorian,
The first time.
bum bum dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun. Yeah, Mandalorian is still better than the Book of Boba Fett.
I agree.
But the Book of Boba Fett is very good,
Very good.
and it makes me excited about the Cassian Andor thing coming out. It makes me excited about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show coming out.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's going to be an Ahsoka one.
So far, they've not missed on
on a TV show,
a TV show.
which they've only got the 2, right? Am I wrong about that?
I mean, the Clone Wars, kind of.
Get out. Clone Wars.
Heresy just said Clone Wars. It's not a TV show. It's a cartoon.
Freaking cartoon.
It's not even canon.
I tried to watch the Clone Wars, like, because my kids really liked it. I was like, all right, guys, let's watch it.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't. I just can't.
I'd rather watch the holiday special.
I was playing volleyball against Harrison this week.
Yeah. Did he fall down?
Yeah, a couple times. And the league has a rule that guys can't spike.
Oh,
'Cause it's a co-ed league.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I get that. Well, usually there's like a line.
Well, there's a 5-foot line.
Yeah.
And you can jump from behind that line. Who's going to do that? You know?
Craig Knickel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, but I told Harrison, he could obviously spike as much as he wanted. That nobody was worried about it.
Yeah.
You know.
They're not going to call him out for
Well,
being...
they don't want men to spike. So
No,
I
I
said,
totally get
Harrison,
it.
don't worry about it. You can spike as much as you want. So,
Yeah.
But I mean, I had him. They beat us. So his team beat us all 3 games.
That's embarrassing because I don't think their team is good.
No, they're bad. Yeah.
I heard Harrison's the best one on their team.
Yeah, and he's not good either. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he said he keeps on getting called for lifting the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I literally saw him grab it. He put the ball like behind his back,
Yeah.
spun it on his finger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like put it under his arm, went and made a sandwich, and then went to the restroom.
He did.
And then he came back, and then he threw it over.
He did the bump, set, and spike all by himself.
Yeah, and they care, and he's like, "What? What?" I'm like, God, man, it's attitude. So anyway,
He gets that from me.
The Book of Boba Fett is my suggestion, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
It's very, very good. I like
Jason, how do you politely tell a visitor that it's time to go home? Someone's at your house, and it's just like, it's enough already. You're ready to go to bed.
it. So, like in a church setting, I would start shutting off
you shut
the lights
that's
and
obvious.
music.
You just start shutting off the lights.
My pastor, he just starts walking towards the door and coaxing me along because that's me.
You
I'm
start
that
shutting
guy.
lights off. You
Yeah.
shut the music
Well, the
off.
great thing at the
Yeah.
church is if you can turn on the alarm system and it starts
Oh.
beeping,
Yeah.
it's like,
We have to get out. Yeah.
Oh, we got 10 seconds.
and you just kind of like look at the system like I can't. Yeah.
Now,
but
okay, listen.
the church that we go to, they hand out keys like candy, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody, you
People
get
are coming and going
You get a
and-
key with your
yeah.
church membership. You know what I mean? Like visitor. You get like a mug with the church
whole
logo
packet.
on it and a key.
You scratch off your code. This is your personal code. Don't give it to anybody. But everybody uses the same code anyways.
So, no, at your house.
Yes.
You've had some people over, and you got to get up.
First of all, I don't invite a lot of people over.
Okay, well,
so
that's
I don't have this ongoing issue.
Yeah.
Now my mother-in-law comes over and stays for like 3 weeks at a time. One time I got to the point where I'm like, it's time for you to go home. I drove her home to Nashville.
Well, just get in the car, please.
No, I don't know. I think the obvious thing is, I'm getting kind of tired. I've got a busy day tomorrow.
Oh, well, that's just flat out saying it. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't mind saying, like, are we done here?
Well, I saw this on, I don't know where I saw it, and someone had put out the question, and here's my favorite response. If you're from the Midwest, you just say "welp" really forcefully and slap your knees with your hands, and then you stand up. It says other Midwest.
No. Okay, listen.
Other Midwesterners will recognize the signal and say to their spouse, "Yeah, we should head out."
Yes.
So, you might even do one of these, and you stand up.
No, listen. When I'm leaving someplace, I'll do that. So, like at her grandparents' house, you go there, and when it's time to go. You don't say, well...
Hand on welp.
Welp. We'll see ya. See ya.
I just thought that was tremendous.
My wife and I have a secret code that... see, now... I'll release the secret code. Now we have texting. So she can text me and say, I'm ready to leave. Right?
And
I get
just got here.
Like, literally. Give me a couple minutes. I haven't even sat down yet. No, for the longest time, and we started it when we first got married in Tulsa. We would go visit, friends and different people and whatever, and just trying to get out there.
It's back when you tried to get out there.
We tried to get out there. We gave up on that a long time ago. But we were trying.
You were trying.
And my wife, I'm far more sociable than she is. She's an introvert. She would very much like to read a book and never talk to anybody ever again.
She's a librarian.
She is a librarian. And so that's who she is.
Yeah.
And so the phrase that we came up with when we were living in Tulsa was, does Tulsa have a zoo?
Oh.
She would say that to me. And I would say, yeah, Tulsa does have a zoo. But that's her key of saying, I'm ready to leave.
Really?
I'm done here.
Does Tulsa have a zoo?
Yeah. So, now she'll text that to me. Does Tulsa have a zoo?
Does Tulsa have a zoo?
I think so. Oklahoma City.
This is Dan signing off for Jason, reminding you to always keep your stick on the ice and never wear the blue sweats.
Sit, Boba, sit. Good dog.
I'm Boogie.
I can bring a gecko. Oh.